please describe the picture in as much detail as you can.
What's happening here?
Oh my gosh.
What's happening here?
Okay, well, that's clearly Mrs. Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, who traveled back in time and stumbled into a cave of ancient riff writers and is attempting to communicate with them via this television that she brought with her, and is just trying to communicate with them in whatever language, musical language or otherwise, that they speak, so that she can bring her message back and teach her children about what the ancients were talking about.
Wow, nice. What do you think the next thing will happen?
What's happening next? I think that she's receiving some sort of signal, and there's a little floating bubble ahead of her, on top of her head, and she's receiving a signal, and she's going to regurgitate the music that she is hearing.
So you mentioned the bubble. I'm curious, what are you seeing in that signal?
I mean, so what am I literally seeing with my eyes? I see a man with
or your
some
soul.
sort of,
like, take your pick, girl.
It looks like a chef to me.
it looks like, yeah, I mean, it kind of, I was thinking maybe a chef's hat, but it also kind of like a cloud, and it could also be like just some frizzy gray hair, and he looks like he's throwing up something.
So like a nutty professor vomiting?
Perhaps. Yeah, I think I could arrive at that conclusion. Yeah.
Nice.
To me, it's some guy like with a cloud for hair and glasses and eating a road. But
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Or you know what it looks like to me now? Like a reverse mountain, like a reverse snow-capped mountain. So it's like the snow's on the bottom, and there's like ash that's falling out of it. And then the
That's
cloud
really
is maybe
good.
like spewing ash onto the mountain.
Nice. So
Nice.
are we gonna ignore the cave drawings? Or do you have any input on those?
No, I mean, I think I alluded to them a little bit earlier. Like that is
Yeah, the ancient.
maybe some clues as to how they were communicating with each other back then. And yeah, I mean, I see a hand. I see something that looks like a worm, and like something that looks like some sort of ghost-like figure.
Okay.
But anyway, with these communications, she's going to receive the knowledge that she needs to know what this is.
All right. That works for me.
What do you make of the schematic at the bottom? Like, what would you decipher that to be? What is the message in that?
I mean, to me, it just looks like it could be a really cool band logo or something.
I know,
Right.
right? I know,
Your favorite
right?
metal band.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just cool.
it would be so cool for a black metal band to adopt that
Yeah,
design and not have
definitely.
that pile of branches like everybody else.
It's
you know?
yeah, it's a little different, and like maybe a little bit more like intelligible in terms of like you can actually make out sort of what might be going on in there.
Yeah.
True. Plus, it's still kind of metal because this looks like I don't know, some like futuristic pirate flag thingy, like with a skull,
Yeah.
and those could be interpreted as bones. Those things.
And it looks
A lot
kind of
the-
like it kind of reminds me of physics class a little bit.
So we're
True.
back to the teacher.
Okay, now I have anxiety just for thinking that. But-
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.